For a complete listing of times and events, go to clevelandcountyfair.com. Don't miss the 94th Annual Cleveland County Fair, September 27th through October 7th.
A cold front headed this way means we have the potential for some rain. Mostly cloudy skies throughout the day today. We'll have some scattered showers and some thunderstorms. Highs will climb into the middle 80s. Overnight tonight, rain is likely. Low temperatures will be on the mild side in the mid to upper 60s. And then Thursday, have the umbrellas with you. Showers and thunderstorms likely Thursday with highs in the mid to upper 70s. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Currently at the Big O Country Studios, it's 4 o'clock.
What's that howling?
Nothing to be afraid of. This is Coyote Tractor Country, mister. That howling just means somebody's bought another hard-working Coyote tractor.
If you're in the market for a hard-working, affordable 20 to 90 horsepower compact tractor, test drive a Coyote today.
You heard the man. Now get going. You're burning daylight, mister. Visit www.kioti.com.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail.
Attention homeowners. With more buyers than sellers, now is the perfect time to sell your home. For over 25 years, Moss Realty has known there is more to sell in your home than placing a sign in the yard. To sell your home in days, even hours, trust the hometown specialist at Moss Realty. Satisfied customers have voted Moss Realty best of Gaston the last 2 years.
Hi, I'm Warren Moss. When you're buying or selling your home, call the professionals at Moss Realty or visit mossrealty.com. Moss Realty, your hometown specialist.
Welcome back to the best in sports right here on a Wednesday here on KTC Broadcasting WCSL. Tim Johnson, Ken Leak, and our sidekick partner, Mr. Addison Johnson's in the house here tonight, Ken. And so we've got a big show of nothing but the very best in high school sports, collegiate sports, and, of course, all the professional sports. And, Ken, we're going to kick things off with some Major League Baseball. How about those Atlanta Braves?
Yeah, the Braves have taken care of business. They last week clinched the division title. I think they're like 9.5 games up on Washington now. The Philly faded, and the Braves have been winning, and they are actually 21 games over 500,
wow,
which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing good ball. Now, they're in the National League East, but they're in the playoffs.
So they're division winners. So they're
division
locked.
winners. The rest of the National League is still up for grabs, Tim.
Yes.
There's 5 teams after 4 spots. Somebody's going to get left out, and I don't know who it is.
I tell you, you got the Cubs and the Brewers and St. Louis in the Central, Ken. All 3 of those teams are battling for a playoff spot. So, we said from day one when the season started that St. Louis, it doesn't matter what their record is, they're going to be there at the end. Well, Ken, they're there at the end. They're probably about, I'd say, 4 games behind of the Brewers and Cubs?
Well, here's the thing. You're going to have somebody got to win the Central. In the Central, the Cubs are ahead 191, lost 66. The Brewers are 191, lost 67. They're a half a game back. So that division is up for grabs. Now, St. Louis is 87 and 71. They're probably not going to win the division, but they could get the wild card.
They could.
But let's drop down to the West. The Dodgers are ahead with the 88-70 record, but the Rockies are 87-70. Again, only a half a game back. So if you look at that 87-70 for the Rockies, 87-71 for St. Louis got to watch out because either the Rockies or Dodgers could edge them out.
Wild card. I got you. Yeah, so that's going to be a tight race there.
And so
in the National League, without
the season ends Sunday. So it's coming right down probably to the last day. The Brewers are playing the Tigers in the last 3 games of the season. St. Louis is at the Cubs. Now, there's an interesting series. Both of them fighting to get in there. They play the Cubs the last 3 games of the season, so that'll be interesting. The Dodgers, Tim, guess who they got? They're at San Francisco. Now, you know those Giants would love to upset the apple cart for them Dodgers.
Absolutely. You know, that's a rivalry for years and years and
They'd
years.
love to mess them up.
Yeah, I guarantee you that. And you know the Giants are going to put their best on the best out there on the mound.
Oh, yeah.
To try to do that. So.
And Washington, the Rockies are playing at home against Washington. So I don't know who's going to be in the playoffs besides Atlanta. Now, as it stands now, if the Dodgers win the West, that's who Atlanta will be playing. If Colorado wins the West, Atlanta will probably be playing them. The way it works is the two wild card teams will play each other. One-game playoff. And the winner of that game will play the team in the National League that had the best record, the division winner that had the best record.
Who's the hottest team between the Rockies and the Dodgers right now?
I would say it's the Rockies. Because Dodgers had about a 1.5, 2.5 game lead last week. Got you.
So I'm picking Colorado. I think they're going to upset and win that division in the West. Now, can the Dodgers hang on and get a wild card? That's
the thing. That's going to be whoever doesn't win the West is going to be fighting it out for St. Louis.
Gotcha. For that wild, or possibly the Brewers. I think
the Brewers will get a wild card.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, they can win the division.
I got you. I think the Cubs will win the division. And so that's who I think.
So this is the 18th division title for the Braves. Tim, they're way ahead of schedule. Someone said at the beginning of the year about 2 years, and they'll
2 years they'll be there.
They're there. Well, guess what? The young kid said, "No, let's just do it this year."
Yeah, they played really great.
They played great ball.
I saw what's his name the other night. Ken took a no hitter into the 7th inning.
Yeah, they've got solid pitching. Some of the young guys they've brought up have really played well. And I call him Steady Freddie Freeman. Been there all year.
He can hit
as a good hitter, great influence there, and they're playing good baseball.
Wouldn't you love to see the Atlanta Braves make it to the World Series?
Oh, I'd love
Wouldn't
to.
that be something?
I'd love to.
You know, and I told you, I said I think Atlanta reminds me a lot of the Yankees team of the '96 team that played Atlanta in the World Series and beat Atlanta. Atlanta was the more, the experienced team. Had some veterans on the team: John Smoltz, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine. You know, those guys. Dave had, what's the name? Played right field. That ended up getting playing for the played right field, left-handed batter, real good batter. What's his name?
You're talking about for
Atlanta Braves.
Oh, Justice.
Dave Justice. Yes, you know they had a lot of veterans there on that team, and then you had the Yankees team, who was the young team. You know, had a lot of Jeter and all them. So anyway, and I think the Atlanta was 2 games up on them. Won the first 2 games in Yankee Stadium, and then after that, the Braves came back the Yankees came back and swept them. That was the beginning of the dynasty right there.
Now in the American League, everything's decided. Boston, division winner there, got the best record in baseball, 106-51. Yankees behind them in the East will have 1 wild card. In the Central, your Cleveland Indians have run away with that division and won it. In the West, Houston has won 100 games, lost 57. They've won that. And Oakland is the wild card there. Actually, Oakland's only 2 games off of from the Yankees for the best wild card. Now, both these wild cards teams, they're gonna have to play each other, but the one with the best record gets to play at home.
Home field, yeah.
Home field.
I got you. Now, I'll start with the Cleveland Indians, Ken. You know, you look at their record, 88-69. You know, they've won. That's a little better than average wins, you'd say, for a baseball team. But how good is Cleveland?
Well,
they got the coach.
We'll find out because they'll line up against Houston in the first series.
And who beat them last year? Let's see. Who put them out last year? Who put was it Boston? Who put them out last year in the first round? They got beat in the first round, wasn't it? Or say got beat? No, Houston beat them in the series.
Yeah, in the series. Yeah.
So that ought to be in division.
The American League Championship
got
Series.
You. So that ought to be good. So can they give a little bit of payback to Houston?
Well, we'll see. I mean, they got a good pitching staff. Of course, Houston got a good team, but we'll see what happens there. And Boston will play whoever the wild card winner is between Oakland and the Yankees. And Oakland
106 games, Ken. That's unbelievable, Boston.
They played well.
Yeah.
106. Let me ask you a question. How many more games do they have? Boston.
It's 5 or 6, 106, 51.
What's the record for the most
they
wins
got 5.
in the season?
They got the records. I think around 120. They're not
120. Okay, so that's what I said. Now the Reds. Is it the Reds who?
I don't know who's got the record.
Cincinnati.
I don't know who's got the record.
Back when they had Johnny
But
Bench.
anytime a team wins over 100 games,
That's
they're
pretty
a pretty
impressive.
good team.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
But
team.
106 games, that's pretty good. So they have a chance to win 110, 109 games.
They got 5 games left.
Don't matter how much you win. It matters who gets hot in playoffs.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Cleveland, Cleveland won 103, 104 games last year.
Yeah.
And then get beat, put out. And they swept somebody. I mean, they swept everybody until they got to Houston.
And Houston took over.
Took over, yeah.
So one thing about Major League Baseball, when the season ends, they don't fool around. They get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it ends Sunday. Tuesday will be the National League wild card game. Wednesday will be the American League All-Star game. Wild card game. And then Thursday, the National League playoff series begin. And then Friday, the American League playoff series begin. So they don't fool around. They get playing right away.
I picked Cleveland first of the year. No, I see Cleveland.
Yeah, you did.
I picked Cleveland first of the year.
did.
So even though they got beat last year and got put out before they made it to a World Series, I picked Cleveland to win it. What do you think, Ken?
I think it's wide open this year. Of course, I'm a pull for Atlanta.
I am too.
As far as the National League, I don't know who may come out of that National League.
That's going to be crazy.
I think Atlanta got good shots. Anybody coming out of the National League.
I think you're right. And they might be the hottest team right now.
I mean,
them in Colorado.
Boston got to be the favorite in the American League.
Yeah.
The National League, everybody likes the Dodgers. Dodgers fighting. They might not get in. I mean, the Braves got good shots. Anybody, they're playing. You asked about the hottest team in the American League. The hottest team in the National League are the Braves.
And the Braves, yeah.
The Braves playing good ball.
I'd say them in Colorado. I see Colorado's right behind them, the Rockies. But you're right, the Braves, they're hot. They beat the Mets the other night. So, yeah, they're playing really well. Ken, go over the Major League Baseball playoff schedule one more time so our listeners
on Tuesday, the National League wild card game will be played. On Wednesday, the American League wild card game will be played. And then, whoever wins that one game will then advance into the series, and there'll be obviously 2 series. The National League playoff series start on Thursday, and Friday, the American League playoff series begin.
Ken, let's talk a little bit before we go to commercial break about your fantasy baseball. How's it looking this year?
Well,
we haven't talked about it here lately.
Well, this year I had sort of a down year. I got behind early, but I don't give up. I try to finish as high as I can, even if I know I'm out of the running to win it. So I have moved all the way up to 4th in my 12-team league, and I'm fighting for second place among 2 other teams in my other league. Last year I won them both. Not going to happen this year, but I'm going to right to the end. I'm going to try to finish as high as I can. I've already been strategizing. In fantasy baseball, it's very interesting. You got a limit of how many innings you can pitch. But if I'm one under the limit, when I get to the last day, I can load up and pitch 7 or 8 guys, and I can go way over.
So you're getting your strategy together. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah. I done got my pitchers lined up and everything.
And that's the thing about Major League Baseball. It doesn't matter what you do in the preseason. Now it starts now, but you're pitching.
Yeah.
You better have pitching, and you better be deep.
So anyway, we'll talk, fantasy. We'll take football. I know most people play fantasy football, and they love it. I played it before. I love fantasy baseball.
How about you, Adam? You play fantasy football?
I do play fantasy football.
And we'll get into that.
We'll get into that a little bit, but I want to talk about baseball because, folks, playoffs are right around the corner.
That's right. All right, folks, you listen to Tim Johnson, Kenny Link, Addison. We're right here live at KTC Broadcasting here at the Classic Ford Studios. KTC Broadcasting on a Wednesday afternoon. Been a while since we've been here, Ken. What, a couple weeks?
Yeah, but we're back now, and got lots of sports to talk about. Got maybe some NFL action to talk about we haven't got back to. And we'll do that later on this.
Coming back with some college football after this.
Live and uniquely local.
It's a community station.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM. WCSL Cherryville.
Country Gold with Terry Clark. I'm Terry Clark, inviting you to join me this week for Country Gold, where we play all your favorites from the 80s and 90s.
Country Gold with Terry Clark, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM. Online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
Start your engine!
Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Justin Allgaier takes the lead away from Cole Custer. Custer out of shape in turn 2.
It's the Drive for the Cure 300 presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina.
Those two now make contact. He puts a bumper on Matt Tipp, turns him off turn 2. Also involved Elliott Sadler.
Here's a battle for the lead. Hemrick looks inside of Christopher Bell as they go to 1.
The Drive for the Cure 300 presented by BCBS of North Carolina. Saturday, September 29th at 2:30 Eastern on PRN.
The Drive for the Cure 300 this Saturday afternoon at 2:30 on Carolina Country WCSL 92.3 FM, 1590 AM. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Glen Oaks Golf Club in Maiden is more than just a golf course. It's a place the entire family can enjoy. Golf is no better than it is at this 18-hole semi-private course with special programs for seniors, men, ladies, and juniors. Improve your score on the driving range. Shop the Pro Shop and ask about their banquet facilities. Great for weddings, reunions, and other special occasions. There's also a swimming pool and picnic area. Come and play at the Glen Oaks Golf Club. For your tee time or other questions, call 828-428-2451. Glen Oaks Golf Club, 245 Golf Course Road in Maiden.
At Reliable Home Appliance Center in Gastonia, they have something for both mom and dad. For mom, see front-load washers and dryers. Also, built-in dishwashers and side-by-side refrigerators. Plus cooktops, microwave, and wall ovens. And for dad, it's the Big Green Egg for the ultimate cooking experience. And a new Danby kegerator. Don't go to the big box store. Get hometown service plus a friendly smile at Reliable Home Appliance Center, located on 3001 Union Road in Gastonia. For sales, service, and parts, plus 12 months, same as cash.
Hello again, Milton Baker here for Trick One Detail It shop on the Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. Trick One Detail It will guarantee you the cleanest your car has ever been, even since it rolled off the assembly line. That's clean, let me tell you. Come on in and get your car so clean folks will want to know how you did it, and you can tell them Trick One Detail It. Better than a drive-through car wash, better than a mobile guy with a bucket and a water hose. Call 704-736-9960 and make your appointment for a clean car everyone will stop and take notice of. Trick One Detail It. See us on Facebook and our website too.
Sweetie, want some fruit? You have to use the right tool for the job. A power drill is the wrong tool to slice fruit. Just like an antibiotic is the wrong tool to treat viruses, including colds and flu. Antibiotics are only needed for certain bacterial infections. When they aren't needed, antibiotics won't help you, and the side effects could still hurt you. Ask your healthcare professional when an antibiotic is the right tool and when it's not. Visit cdc.gov/antibiotic-use.
Free classifieds at every edition of the What's Up Shopper, covering Cleveland, Lincoln, and Gaston counties. Place your free classified ad today in this week's What's Up Shopper.
Okay, Ken Leak, Tim Johnson, and Addison Johnson here with you on a Wednesday afternoon for the Best in Sports Show on WCSL 1590. We talked some baseball, but there's a lot of football going on nowadays, and we're going to dive right into college football and talk a little bit about that. The top teams in the country are still the undefeated teams that have been ranked in the top 3 all year, and that'd be Alabama, Clemson, Georgia. Some news out of Clemson. Lawrence, the fine freshman quarterback, has announced that he will be starting this next game.
Yep, well deserved.
And right on cue, Addison Bryant, the other quarterback that had been playing some, has announced today that he is transferring.
It's not shocking.
So he wants to play, and how did
he lose his starting position? I mean, he just playing bad or something?
Clemson had been playing 2 quarterbacks, both quarterbacks,
to see who deserved the job.
And Lawrence, I guess they said, okay, we think he's got the best chance with him. He's got the best potential.
And he's a freshman, is that right?
Yeah. They named that. But Brian is sophomore, junior. I think he's
I
a sophomore.
think he's a junior. I think he's a junior.
He's a junior. But like I say, he's only played in a minimal amount of games. He can transfer and not have to lose any eligibility.
Yeah. And the thing is, with Trevor Lawrence, with him being a freshman, not only did he, in my opinion, outperform the other quarterback, but he's got to stay another year to get that experience and stuff. Yeah. And plus, he's going to go ahead and build chemistry and stuff. So it's in the long run for Clemson, it's better for the team anyways.
And I'm sure they're looking down the road. They're not looking to say, okay, let's win another ACC title. They're looking for national titles.
Yeah.
And they figure with him getting more experience each game, they'll be more prepared with him when they get to that championship time at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Because they expect to be playing again for a championship.
And like Clemson, I think they've handled that situation better than Alabama has.
Yes, Alabama's still playing 2 quarterbacks, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, Tua and Jalen Hurts, which it looks like Tua has the better and the better upside anyway. So it looks like there's not really much to talk about that.
And they'll probably name I'm sure they'll probably name a quarterback at Alabama before they get to the playoff series.
Now,
but like you say, it's going to be later. It's not going to be right now.
Ask, was that kid you talking about? That kid from Clemson playing, the Lawrence kid? Is he the one you talking about the other week?
Yeah.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is the number 1 overall. Last year in high school, he was the number 1 overall prospect. And on film, he looked really great on film and stuff, and it's transferred over into college. He was in the Elite 11 campaign with Trent Dilfer and his team. And, he finished number 1. So, obviously, he has the upside.
He's got the tools.
He's he's athletic. He throws the ball really good, And
then the play this year, he's played better as far as producing points, more yards per play. Now, he's had a few more turnovers. But like
he's produced.
He's produced, and the potential's there.
And the turnovers will cut down the more he plays because
he'll get more reps.
Yeah, and obviously he'll build chemistry with his players, and he'll understand what he likes out of them and stuff.
Well, the coaches will focus more on him too, and on his playability and so forth. So yeah, absolutely, yeah. So hey, I tell you what, they say that Clemson, the young team they got, is the best team they've ever had at Clemson.
Yeah,
I've heard several people say they have more talent there than any team they've had.
And now for Georgia, does Georgia, are they still having a quarterback battle going on with Justin Fields and the guy they had last year? Are they still battling?
I don't know.
It'd be interesting because they haven't named a starting quarterback, so it'd be interesting.
I guess it's still open.
Yeah,
seems like that's a theme nowadays. We know a local school that. Doesn't seem to want to
play the best quarterback.
Play the best quarterback, so we'll see what happens there.
Well, let me tell you what I heard today, guys. Let me tell you, and I know Kevin came in and said he heard it too, but I heard it too, and I told you, Ken.
Local news.
Larry Fedora was interviewed by one of the reporters, and one of the reporters was asking him, saying that, hey, you're going to get 7 of your football players back because they've been on suspension. And he said, yeah. He said, we got to get them acclimated to the offense, and the ones play offense and one to the defense. Well, then after that, the reporter said, hey, he says, we understand you're getting your red shirt sophomore back, Chaz Surratt. He said, yes, he'll be coming back too. And then he went ahead and said, hey, the kid who played, who's been playing quarterback, he's going to start. He's the starting quarterback. Chaz, he's the starting quarterback. Talking about the kid that played this past week. What's his name?
Elliott.
Elliott, yes. Yeah. So, and he said he had a good game against Pittsburgh. So
he did. He had his best game he's career so far. Yeah.
And so the report said, okay, so is Chaz going to get to play this week? And he said he may. Well, I don't know. So anyway, and then he said, well, can you give me a little bit more information, Coach? Is he going to get on the field? Is he going to play? What's that? And the coach and Fedora just plainly said, he said, that'll be my decision whether he plays or not.
Yeah. Well, here's what these coaches do, I think. The
reporter was putting pressure on him.
They intentionally ride the fence because they don't want somebody to transfer out of the program. But I got news for you. Eventually, you got to make a call, and you may lose someone just like Clemson did. I mean, that's just the way it is.
My look at it is am I going to play this guy who's going to win us games and might save my job, or am I going to play this guy who's going to lose games and I'm going to lose my job? Just look at it.
That's pretty good.
Look at it like that.
That's the way I'd look at it if I was sitting in that hot seat. I sure would. That's exactly
who's going to help me keep my job. Simple as that. Who's the quarterback?
Who's the guy that's got enough talent to give me the best chance of winning ball games? And that's who's going to be.
Well,
out
I'm going to tell you. Well, compare this kid. This kid, I saw him play. And he's a good football player. There's no doubt about that. He's at Carolina. He's at a D1 program.
But he doesn't have special talent.
He don't have. He's not. He don't have what Chaz got.
No.
He can't run. He's not as big as Chaz.
Physically, he doesn't have the talent of Chaz.
He don't bring the tools to the table that Chaz can.
No, he don't. He doesn't.
And so my thing is, what is Fedora looking at? I mean, what is he? I mean, is somebody on the board? Is somebody in the school? Is somebody saying we want you to play this kid?
No.
I mean, has Chad? I mean,
nobody's saying that. I just think
seems like there's more to the story than what we're getting.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
What is going on with Coach Fedora and Chaz right now? He might be upset at Chaz because he probably had Chaz. He might have had Chaz penciled in being starting quarterback,
He may have.
and then he got suspended.
I could see that, but the thing is, understand that he's got suspended, but you're sitting there saying, look, we didn't win last year. We didn't do the things we needed to last year to win, and this year's come around, and we're still not winning. So what do we need to do to fix this problem?
Let me ask you something, Ken. You're a Carolina fan, and I'm a Chaz Surratt fan. Is Fedora going to lose his job if he don't win?
Yes.
Is he going to go down? Here's my thing. Is he going to go down with that quarterback, Ken?
Well, I tell you what, this is going to be a big week to see what happens. This is going to be deciding what goes on for the rest of the season.
I think it's be defining moment for Fedora.
Yeah, for him.
And I think he knows that too. Think about it.
Yeah, that's the reason he got a little bit testy and irritated because the guy kept pushing him, and he knows he's on
the hot seat.
He's on the hot seat. He knows it.
Yeah. So I mean,
he knows it. And I think it made it a little more difficult. The guy that last week, Elliott, played great last week. Before that, he played awful. First couple of games, he played awful. So if he'd played awful last week, it'd been probably an easy decision for Fedora. Well, and now he played good. He's like,
it's just it's kind of like the Bills and the Cardinals situation. Who's going to quarterback for them? Well, now since Josh Allen stepped up, he's looking pretty good for the Bills.
Yeah, he sure is.
Yeah, he is.
He's actually panned out.
And we get on that too in our next topic in the NFL.
We're Peterson throwing 3 interceptions and a half. We're going to stick off him.
Let's talk about another ACC team. Duke is still undefeated and ranked 22nd.
22nd.
How about that?
How about David Cutcliffe, Ken?
He's good.
The head coach.
He is an excellent coach.
I mean, this guy can coach. And listen, he knows his quarterbacks.
Wasn't he the head coach at Ole Miss with Eli?
Yeah.
And then he was the offensive coordinator with Peyton at Tennessee. So doesn't that tell you something?
And listen, both of those boys, both of them, Peyton and Eli,
they give all their credit back to
they go to Duke and work out. They go to Duke and work out.
They need credit where credit's due.
Chaz worked out with them. Chaz worked out with both of them guys at quarterback camp. They had to do.
Well, we know Chaz was, but he always wanted to go to Carolina, and the reason he first announced the Duke was because of the investigation going on, and they didn't know whether there was going to be penalties and sanctions put against Carolina. As it turned out, there wasn't. But that's the reason he waited till they said, we don't think there'll be any sanctions, and then he changed his mind to Carolina. He always wanted to go to Carolina, but the way things turned out, he might have been better off if he'd stuck with Duke.
He should have
stuck with
Duke.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
With a quarterback's coach like that.
With a quarterback coach has been with 2 Hall of Fame players.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't argue with that.
Yeah. I agree with you
and
there.
Plus, look at the success you're having at Carolina. There's none.
He's not even had success.
Well, and here's the thing: that program's not in great shape. Even if he goes out there and just plays great, he don't have a good enough team behind him. So he's not. It doesn't look good for the program at North Carolina right now.
Well, how about my NC State quarterback? That son of a gun can play.
He's playing well.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. They say he's probably in the top 5 of the quarterbacks in the nation right now. I'll tell you what, he's breaking records at State, and he's right behind Phillip Rivers. And look what Rivers is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's going to the Hall of Fame when he retires, no doubt about that.
Yeah, Rivers is a great quarterback.
Yes, he is.
One of the hottest teams in the ACC, the team I thought, man, they really showing off and looking good. Virginia Tech. And then they go to Old Dominion, a 27-point favorite, and get beat. Get beat.
I'm telling you. Now that was pretty.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing.
You think they came in with their heads too high?
I think they did.
I think they did.
Probably did. Blacksburg, Virginia.
And Old Dominion sitting there going, "Hey, we in Virginia too."
Yep.
That kind of reminds me of Michigan and Appalachian State game back in the
back when. You're exactly right.
Yeah. So your top 3 teams in the country, Ken: Alabama, Clemson, Georgia. They're all 3 undefeated, as well as our Duke Blue Devils.
Yes.
And let's talk about a little bit about our good buddy, Mr. Sage Surratt, Chaz's brother.
Wake Forest.
Outstanding. Wake Forest.
Still playing well. Starting wide receiver. at Wake, and Wake's putting a lot of
he's a redshirt freshman.
They put a lot of points on the board, lots of offense, and he's part of that.
He looks like he's the number one target on that team for wide receivers.
Oh, I would think so. Absolutely.
He's getting all the looks. And that quarterback, I don't see all the, he's not the best quarterback, in the college football, but he's getting the job done.
Hey, well, that's a good question. Now, Chaz, if he don't play, if he's not happy, think about this. What year is that quarterback at Wake Forest? Wouldn't it be something?
I think he's a freshman.
I think he's a freshman.
I think he's a freshman. Same as Chaz.
Well, I don't see Chaz transferring there, but you never know.
Well, here's the thing. If what happens, what I think is going to happen, i.e., North Carolina's going to have a bad year in football.
They're going to have a new coach next year.
And they're going to have a new coach. And so if you look at that, very well, Chaz could be transferring somewhere. That's just my thoughts. So you sort of starting over with a new coach.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. That'd be interesting to see, too. And we need to try to get in contact with Chad. Maybe you get in contact with him, Madison. You know him. You played basketball against him.
Yeah.
So maybe you try to get in contact with him, try to find out what's going on.
Yeah, let's see what happens the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
See if he gets some playing time.
Kenny, NFL news. After 3 weeks, there are only 3 undefeated teams in the league. Miami, which is a shocker. Kansas City Chiefs, which is not a shocker because their offense, they got some weapons. And
on
LA
pace,
Rams.
record-breaking offense. They look very, very scary on the offensive side. But their defense is not, looking all that well. But if their offense keeps putting up the points that they do, don't worry about it.
Absolutely. Hey, we're going to come back with some bunch of NFL news out there for you right here on KTC Broadcasting. WCSL, Tim Johnson, Ken Link Addison. We'll be back after these fine messages right here.
We know what the community wants and needs because we live here too.
Definitely in touch with the city and what's going on.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, WCSL Cherryville.
In Charlotte, the revolution has begun.
Side by side at the start-finish line. Let's see who wants to blink.
It's the Bank of America Roval 400.
Kurt Busch, Clint Boyer, these two drivers are not giving up. Truex battles back, and he'll shut Boyer down. We've got a challenge for the lead. The 18 on the inside. McMurray tries to slam the door.
The Bank of America Roval 400 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Sunday, September 30th at 1 Eastern on PRN. The Performance Racing Network.
The Bank of America Rovo 400 this Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Jesus Until the Whole World Hears Radio Ministries with evangelist Kim Earwood and worship leader Krista Earwood invite you to tune in every Sunday morning from 8 to 8:30 a.m. on 1390 AM WOHS and 1590 AM WCSL.
The summer sales event is underway at Elliott Supply Company in Polkville. Come see the new Husqvarna zero-turn mowers. Get 0% financing for 48 months. Well-qualified buyers may be eligible. And that's not all. See the Patriot zero-turn mower by Skag. Now sell priced at $6,099. Plus get 0% financing for 48 months. Don't miss the summer sales event at Elliott Supply Company, Highway 182 North in Polkville. Call 704-538-8661.
We're community minded. We believe in what we do. We love this town. We live in just like you.
We're a community bank. That's why we always try to approach things from a community-minded point of view. When something is in the best interest of the communities we serve, it's good for us as well. We're community-minded, just like you.
Carolina Trust Bank, member FDIC. Community-minded, just like you.
We're community-minded, just like you.
Visit your nearest Carolina Trust Bank with 2 offices in Lincoln, also in Gastonia, Denver, Forest City, Hickory, Lake Lure, Vale, and Mooresville.
Dr. John L. Cloninger III of Lincoln will brighten your smiles with professional cosmetic dentistry and smile enhancement procedures for everyone. Even Duke fans will smile at the work of this Tar Heel. The office of Dr. John L. Cloninger III is located at 904 Doncha Drive. For an appointment, call 704-735-0765. That's 704-735-0765. And John III says best wishes to all high school athletes.
Maybe a punctuation mark on a career night.
If you want it sold, put it on the Carter Chevrolet Swap Shop with Milton Baker, Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 10, right here on Big O Country and KTCBroadcasting.com.
All right, welcome back to WCSL 92.3 on the FM dial and 1590 on the AM dial. Tim Johnson, Ken Link, Addison Johnson. We're live here today. Kenny, speaking of Mr. Calvin Hastings, he's up at the Cleveland County Fair, folks, and that begins today and is going to go for about a week and a half, Kenny.
Yes, and we'll be there for KTC broadcast in a couple of nights as we cover the Cleveland County Fair, a big event, one of the biggest fairs in North Carolina, and it's always a big deal. It goes on, I think, 11 days this year, Tim.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love going to the Cleveland County Fair, folks. I have great food there, too. A lot of foods, vendors and stuff like that. All kind of animals and stuff like that for all the little ones out there. And so I know Mr. Hastings, he's up there, and so he's doing a live remote. And it's on WOHS, too, folks. So if you want to tune in and listen to Calvin, tune in to WOHS. That is 101.5 FM dial and 1390 on the AM dial. So we'll be there live sometime next weekend. I don't know, 2 or 3 days. Who knows? We might be there the whole week. All right, Addison. NFL, after 3 weeks, like we were saying, there's 3 undefeated teams. Which is the best team right now? Is it the Rams, Kansas City Chiefs, or the Miami Dolphins?
I say with overall team looking like they're playing really well, I'd say the Rams. The Rams have, power rankings, they have number 1, obviously. With the wide receivers they have, with Brandon Cooks filling that void that Sammy Watkins couldn't do last year. Robert Woods is coming in his own shell, and Cooper Kupp is taking his next step in becoming a better player in the league.
Well, both sides of the football, the Rams are special.
Yeah, but on the offensive side, running the ball with Todd Gurley, if you stack the box against Todd Gurley, go ahead. Jared Goff has 3 great receivers he can go to at any time.
And that's the thing. You got to have balance. And we're just talking about the Cowboys during the break. They don't have the balance because they don't have the wide receivers in the passing game. They got Elliott, but they don't have the wide receiver game.
And that's what separates the good teams from the great teams. When you have a balanced offense and a balanced defense who can do both, you can't beat it. There ain't no team that can beat the Rams.
And it's good to have a superstar on both sides, Gurley and then Donald on the other side.
Yeah, Donald.
you go what, the offensive player of the year and then the defensive player of the year on the other side. So they got a good team. And they're playing well.
Dominican Sue, doesn't he play for the Rams right now?
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
and that complements Aaron Donald because it takes a lot of pressure off him. And Dominican Sue, he's not a brush under the table. He can deal some damage to some offenses.
Well, they also picked up that defensive backs from the Broncos.
Marcus Peters.
Yes.
No. Aqib Talib. But Marcus Peters is hurt, I think.
He's done. I think is he done for the year? I know he got hurt.
I don't know, but Aqib Talib, he's doing his thing now. So I think he's hurt a little bit too. So
is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're still that front four they got. You got Dominican Sue, like you're saying, and also you got Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald, to me, is the best. I'd say the best defensive player in football, no doubt about it.
Well, he won the award. He's good. Yeah, no doubt.
I wouldn't say he's the best football player.
Oh man,
I could argue with J.J. Watt, or you could say
he's better than J.J. Watt.
Khalil Mack.
He's better than Khalil. Yeah, I'd say he's better than Khalil Mack. He's the best. He's the best. Khalil Mack's, don't get me wrong, he's having a sensational year from coming from Oakland as a bonehead move and going to Chicago. What were they thinking, Ken?
I would tell.
What were they thinking?
Tell John Gruden, since he did that trade, look, you put a helmet on, get out there. I'm firing you next.
Well, the thing about Watts had a lot of injury issues, and Donald hadn't been in the league that long. He's been healthy when he's been there, so he sure hit the ground running. He's a great defensive player.
Yeah, I mean, Khalil, what were they thinking by trading him?
They didn't have the money to pay.
They got 2 number 1 picks for him?
Yeah, but they didn't have the money to pay.
They're looking to the future, but I think it's for the first year or two, it's not going to be too good for the Raiders.
Well, here's the thing. John Gruden said, I ain't going nowhere. I got a 10-year contract for $100 million.
That's the thing about it. Yeah.
If you fire me, I'm guaranteed $100 million.
Yeah, he got security, so he didn't care. He's going to do it his way.
That's crazy. Let's see here, Kenny. The Patriots, the New England Patriots, Ken, are 1-2, and they got their butts handed to them by the Detroit Lions.
They didn't look good. They didn't look good a while, and I think they're getting desperate. They bring in Josh Gordon, and his history of
Well,
drug abuse is I don't know whether he's ever going to hit the field and do very much.
If he pans out,
well, yeah, he's great
let me tell you
talent. He's
something.
great talent. There's no doubt.
This guy is a Hall of Fame football player.
And
if he
let me
stays
go ahead
on
and
the
say,
field and plays,
he has tremendous upside. He has tremendous. He's got all these qualities about him. But the thing is, you're taking a big risk when you've got him on your team. And the other thing is, I don't really think the Patriots' offense is what's killing them. I think it's their defense. Well, obviously their defense, but
their defense is killing for the last 2 years.
And Belichick needs to do something about that.
I think so. Well, I mean, if Belichick is the greatest coach of all time defensively, genius he is, why has he not fixed that, Ken? I mean, why has he not fixed that, Ken?
Well,
I mean, think about it.
I think they've been fortunate. They've had Brady there that outscored
I can
people.
actually see that.
Who are some of the players they're drafting?
I
mean, you would think.
Brady. I actually see Belichick trying to put the pressure on Brady and making him try to win games on his own, which is not going to happen.
I think he's trying to run him out of town.
Well, here's the thing about the offense for Patriots. They don't have the other wide receivers. They just double team and Gronk and say, okay, see if anybody else can beat us. That's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing. Yeah,
Chris Hogan is not a
triple teaming him.
Yeah,
Chris Hogan is not a number one wide receiver on that team.
But he's better than what Dallas has got. I'll tell you.
Well, when they're not this week, but the next week, they're getting Julian Edelman back, which he does do good, and he's Tom Brady's go-to guy.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is,
that'll make him better.
And they got rid of Danny Amendola, and Danny Amendola, he's been clutch for them in the past couple of years. So
he stepped up in the Super Bowl.
And with Edelman not playing, I don't. And then you got Sonny Michel, who's playing somewhat decent. He's getting his rushing attempts. And
we don't know how good Edelman's going to be. Coming off that, he messed his leg up last year, and so he was out the whole entire year.
I would say since him and Brady work out a lot, I would have to say
they're on the same page, no doubt about
Edelman
that.
has to be in game ready shape because that team needs him, and if he's not, this is going to hurt them. But I think Josh Gordon, if he plays, he's going to take a lot of pressure off that Patriots defense.
Ken, your Panthers are 2-1 after their big win against Cincinnati this past Sunday. The Panthers and Tampa Bay and New Orleans all have a 2-1 record in the NFC South. Atlanta's 1-2. Who's winning that conference, Ken? Is it going to be now? Tampa Bay is playing really, really good. Fitzpatrick or Fitzmagic, whatever you want to call him, he's just playing out of his mind.
But they don't have a running game. They don't have any sort of
Carolina's got
game.
the best defense in that conference.
Carolina has the best overall balanced offense too. If you look at it, running the ball and throwing the ball, they have it.
I don't know about that. Now that
who has better throwing? Who has a better balanced offense in that division?
I'll take right now.
New Orleans is pretty good.
But New Orleans don't have their number one. They're one down back.
Listen,
Mark Ingram's not back from his suspension yet.
Okay, how about the Atlanta Falcons?
They're hurt.
Well, you got
Devonta
Julio
Freeman's
Jones
out.
He puts
Julio Jones is not putting up anything. He's not getting no touchdowns. All he's getting is yards.
Well,
if you can't put points on the board, you can't win ball games.
You give me Atlanta's wide receivers.
Well, Atlanta's got they lost another safety. They have lost both of their starting safeties so far. They're getting beat up. Their defense is not the best anyway.
No.
I don't think Atlanta's going to win it. I think Carolina's got a good chance of winning it this year.
Cam's in his rhythm.
Kuechly stays healthy.
And the reason I say that,
Cam's in his rhythm too, so he's playing a lot better.
Here's the thing about it. New Orleans, we know they can put points on the board. We know Tampa Bay can put points on the board.
But can they hold points?
Who's got the best defense in that division?
I'd say Carolina.
I think it's Panthers.
Now Tampa Bay's defense is pretty good too.
Yeah, but
they might be the next best defense.
They're not. There's a different tier of differential. Carolina, and then you have everybody else. They're not in the same tier as Carolina. Carolina's defense is way better. Their front seven.
We'll see.
And now, who was the NFC's player of the week?
F.A. Obata.
And who does he play for?
See, this ain't
Carolina
fair.
Panthers.
See, this ain't fair, guys.
A defensive end who was on the practice squad last year, inactive for the first 2 games, and then was active and said, "Coach, I'm going to show you I can play."
And Jerry didn't want him, I think. So I think Carolina
the
took
Cowboys originally, a scout for the Cowboys discovered this guy over in England. And
I remember him. Dallas did
and they had him as part of the international.
He's about 6'7", something like that. Big
guy. They had him as one of their. They trying to promote international players from internationally. Yeah. They had him on there, and he was on the practice squad. but they let him go. And he got signed.
Panthers picked him up.
Signed to the Panthers.
It just seems like Dallas knows how to get rid of good talent, and I like that.
See, this ain't fair, Morgan. You see, I got 2 Carolina fans in here, and I'm the only guy.
I'm not a Carolina fan. I just think Carolina is doing a lot better.
This guy, what a great story for this guy. This guy was, where was he from?
I thought he was
England.
I thought he was from Africa.
He was from Africa somewhere.
Really?
He was an orphan. He was the guy that's supposed to be the guy to take care of him. He sent to England. Well, this guy ended up being unreliable. He ended up on the street, and he didn't even play football, Tim,
until he's 22.
Until he's 22. He's 26. But when he played, he was so athletic, he just stood out. Very raw. Because, like I said, he didn't play football until he was 22.
He's still learning how to play the game.
He's still learning how to play the game.
Can't
He's
teach
got some
athleticism.
natural talent. Now, he had a sack and an interception that game. He had another forced fumble in a sack that was overruled. I think it's a bad call. They said the quarterback's arm was going forward. I didn't see it that way. First, they called it a fumble originally, and they overturned it.
Well, that's another thing, too,
But what
guys.
I'm saying, he was active making things happen.
Before we get into the Cowboys, which it ain't much, but anyway, before we get into the Cowboys, how about roughing the passer? What do you think about all that?
I was about to say something about
you
that.
know, Tyron Crawford for the Cowboys, great hit, great tackle, roughing the passer. Clay Matthews.
Clay
Matthews has had a penalty every game.
Yeah, that Clay Matthews, that was a bad call. That's a bad call.
They said his weight, his body weight.
What you got to do?
Same thing about the
You
Cowboys.
play football. When you tackle somebody, you're probably going to fall on them.
In my opinion.
They're saying you got to tackle him and roll over. You got to roll this way with him.
Yeah, you got to catch him, hold him like a baby, and then lay him down.
My thing is, if you're gonna agree to play NFL football and make millions of dollars, you take the risk of getting hurt and everything, and that should be the thing.
Well, Aaron Rodgers came out and said he didn't like it. He said he didn't like it.
Well, the rule is the rule in itself is not written in the right way, and the refs are having a heck of a time trying to interpret it, make it call, and they're making mistakes. They're making mistakes. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah, I agree with you there.
So they got to really look at that.
Roethlisberger said it's getting out of hand.
It is getting out of hand.
It's, you know, I know you don't want to see your
nobody wants to see anybody get hurt.
Football players get hurt.
No,
Nobody. It doesn't
still,
matter whether you're on the bench or not.
But it's a physical game.
They know that before they sign up.
It's a physical game.
If
If somebody said it's legalized assault, that's what it is. You can't go on the street and knock the heck out of somebody, but on a football field you can.
Cowboys lost to Seattle, Ken. I picked that, and I told you the Cowboys get beat. Did I not tell you?
Well, you picked that one, but you missed the one when they played the Panthers.
Oh, forget that. Listen, folks. We're down there. We are down there in the press box. So, Miss me and Ken, we're sitting there. We're looking at the TV. So here he comes. Here comes the greatest owner of all time.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Listen, the legend, everything you want to call him, and I'm sure he's been called a lot. Here comes Jerry Jones.
And Tim made a beeline, stepped right in front of him and his bodyguards.
And seen his father in a couple
Stuck
of years.
a hand out. I thought, good. I said, Ken, you're not going to shake hands? I said, no.
Ken would not shake Jerry Jones' hand. And I am highly upset at Ken Link. Almost left him in Charlotte.
I'm proud of Ken.
I should have left him
You don't
there.
shake hands with the devil.
I should have left Ken Link in Charlotte.
You never shake hands with the devil.
But no, we had a great time there. I tell you, the Panthers, they really know how to treat their people there. I mean, we were just treated first class. We're always treated first class when we're there.
And you got Tim did get to see some ex-Cowboys from the past.
Danny White, a little bit. Excellent, first class guy.
Which was excellent. And one of the key things. Before we even got there,
Babe Laufenberg,
we met a guy that's works for the Dallas Cowboys, and he had all the inside info, and him and Tim just going back and forth.
We know
on the ride into the stadium on the.
He was he was the Dallas Cowboys television. I guess you say the director. He is the announcer. He is everything for the Dallas Cowboys when it comes to.
And listen to this, Addison. So Tim asked him. He said, "What about the wide receivers?" He said, "They just guys. They don't know any good." I thought, hey, he told him like it is.
He did. I'm telling you, man.
They should probably start catching with their hands, not their feet.
You know, he said they don't have anything.
Yeah.
I thought, whoa, tell it like it is.
It's true.
He was right.
Got to see the armchair quarterback, Troy Aikman.
Oh yeah.
He's cool. Armchair quarterback. What do you think about that, Kenny?
I wouldn't call him that. I think his records speak for themselves.
Absolutely.
His career speaks for itself. I wouldn't call him that at all.
I wouldn't either. Oh, man. All right, Kenny, I tell you what we're going to do, boys. We're going to go to a commercial break here just in a little bit. Let me get this right here going here, and we'll be rocking and rolling, boys. Tim Johnson, Ken Link, Addison Johnson. We're live at the Classic Ford Studios here on KTC Broadcasting. Hope you folks having a great afternoon out there. Calvin Hastings up at the Cleveland County Fair, and he'll be there till probably about 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. Who knows? Calvin might even stay all night up there, Ken.
He might do it.
We'll be back right here after these commercials here from our fine sponsors.
People are talking about when they listen to Carolina Country.
We listen to you all the time. I listen to it at night, in the morning, at work, everywhere I go.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, WCSL Cherryville.
Here's What's Up in Cleveland, Gaston, and Lincoln counties. Brought to you by the What's Up Shopper, Carolina Country, WCSL, and the Boss, WOHS and WLON. Pain and Sip Witch Hat is October 9th at the Cleveland County Arts Council. Phone 704-484-2787 to sign up. Come experience the 40th Annual Gem and Mineral Show, October 5th through 7th at the Gaston County Park on Highway 279 in Dallas. For details, call 704-577-3391. And that's What's Up, brought to you by the What's Up Shopper, Carolina Country, WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM. The Boss, WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM. And WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM. For more information, go to whatsupshopper.com.
They've got them all. At Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, they've got Ford, Chevrolets, Buicks, Toyotas, Nissans, Hondas, Kias, GMC trucks, and more. What are we talking about? We're talking about the huge used car selection at Renato Auto Mall. Before you buy, come see Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And they are now your SUV headquarters. Over 50 to choose from, new and used. All makes, all models, and 10 to choose from, priced at under $10,000 at Renato Auto Mall. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at RenatoAutomall.com.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Wednesday morning from 11 to 12 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Your yard will be the indie of the neighborhood with a stop at Upchurch Garden Center on Roy Acre Road in Cherryville. You'll find geraniums, small size $6, large size $15, plus extra large hanging ferns for $15. See the large assortment of tropical plants and bedding plants, plus pine needles, mulching bags, and loose mulch. That's Upchurch Garden Center, 202 Roy Acre Road, Cherryville. Give them a call at 704-435-3476.
Shelby Farm and Garden Center in Uptown Shelby at 310 Market Street in the old train depot behind BB&T Bank is the place to go for all your gardening and greenhouse supplies. Open since 1965, they carry Espoma organic products, grass seeds, fertilizers, lime, zinc, straw, and pine needles, as well as raised bed gardening supplies, including soils, peat moss, vermiculite, perlite, and compost. Stop by and check out the huge selection of heirloom garden seeds, onion sets, seed potatoes, vegetable plants, blueberry bushes, figs, and flowers. And while you're there, pick up a bottle of 2 Old Goats lotion. Shelby Farm and Garden Center, 310 Market Street in Shelby. Call 704-482-3341. Play trivia every morning from 6 a.m. to 9 o'clock right here at Big O Country. 4 big games each morning. Join us for trivia right here at Big O Country, WOHS, WCSL, and WLON.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Classic Ford Studios, KTC Broadcasting here on WCSL. Tim Johnson, Ken Link, and Ken's sidekick partner there, Mr. Addison Johnson. We're live here today. WCSL 1590 on AM station and 92.3 on the big FM station there, Kenny.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit of high school football right quick, Tim. This past week, the Cherryville Ironmen had their first conference game. They had to travel over to Thomas Jefferson Academy. They're undefeated and pretty highly ranked in 1A. And Ironman lost 38-20, but played them pretty tough. I thought that was a pretty good game Cherryville gave them. So they dropped to 3-2. This week they have a home game against Mountain Island Charter. In the South Fork 2A conference, play got underway last week. Tim, we had two upsets. West Lincoln upset North Lincoln. North Lincoln upset West Lincoln. And Bandy's upset Maiden. Both of those teams, Maiden and West Lincoln, came in undefeated, but they took their first loss of the season.
Well, I tell you, Ken, Bandy's upset and Maiden. I don't know if that's an upset or not.
That's a big rivalry. That's a big rivalry, but they did. Yeah, Maiden was probably favored in the game.
We don't know. I know the Bandy should have beat Hickory for 1 point loss.
Yeah.
So I tell you, Bandy's might be the team to beat this year in the. And imagine Bandy's that well. And Maiden, we know they're good. So you got two good teams there. And plus North Lincoln upsetting West Lincoln. That's huge right there, I think. And then after that, Ken, you got Newton Conover hammered Lincoln. Wow.
Yeah, that was a disappointing game for the Woods.
At home, too. At Lincoln.
So they got some important games. East Lincoln and West Lincoln, East Lincoln and Lincoln's the big rivalry game this coming week in the county. And so we'll be talking about that more on our Lincoln County football show.
In East Lincoln, they're 2-0. They're undefeated in the conference too. So they're at the top. So
well, they 1-0, but yeah, they
won. They 1-0. Okay.
Yeah, everybody's played one conference game.
How about East Cass? East Cass is out of conference. That's right.
Yeah, they're out of the conference.
So we got East Lincoln coming to Lincoln this Friday night. Me and you will be doing that game on WLON 1050 AM and 107.5. Ken, Lincoln's going to have to start. They're going to have to start getting together.
To me, this is a must game for Lincoln. They have to win this game if they have any hopes of trying to make the playoffs this year, is my opinion.
Yeah, think about it, Ken. Is it possible that you could have Lincoln and West Lincoln playing on down in the season? Could be playing for their first conference win, and the loser of that game could maybe be at the bottom?
I don't know. West Lincoln, they got to travel to Maiden this week, so we'll see. We'll have to look and see where they meet.
West Lincoln's got a tough schedule. They got Maiden, and then they got to see Lincoln, and then
they played their easy teams in non-conference. That's why they was 4-0, and they rolled into North Lincoln. I think with a lot of confidence, but I think they were surprised. North Lincoln had a better team than they thought they were going to.
I was surprised that West Lincoln got beat. I picked West Lincoln to win that game. North Lincoln. I tell you what, they played some great defense. Coach Basil, we interviewed him yesterday. We gave out our first Federal Lincoln County High School football player to Jake Sarouche. Congratulations to him. We're going to have that on our Lincoln County High School football show coming up Friday night, folks. So make sure you tune into that. Great football coach, Ken. Just great man. Just great. A lot of energy at their practice. And we saw a lot of things. They run their practice kind of like what Demery was saying, like a college atmosphere.
Yeah. In the area, the power pole that Kevin Hastings and KTC guys put together has Hunter Huss number 1 and East Rutherford right behind them. And both of those are still undefeated, Tim. Everybody else in the area has lost at least one game. But Hunter Huss and East Rutherford, in fact, East Rutherford really looked strong all year.
Yeah, they're putting some points on the board. Big-time points, too. Yeah, I agree with you. Who was the number 1 team last week, Ken? Was it still Hunter Huss?
I think it was.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. Little NASCAR. Kyle Busch won at Richmond Motor Speedway. And this week, Tim, they're racing at Bank of America over at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Bank of America 400. It's the first ever road race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're going to use the infield, and they made a road race out of it. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there.
That would be. That's the first I've heard of that. I knew they were doing that, but in Bank of America there at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, wow, that's going to be pretty neat there. So they're going to make a road course out of it.
Road course. The other big news of the week, Tiger Woods, Tim, wins a golf tournament, first win since 2013.
How about that? And I watched every bit of it Sunday, Ken. He played unbelievable. I tell you, He hit the ball. Everything he hit was he struck it really well. He putted the ball well, and he never gave anybody in the field a chance. Rory McIlroy was paired with him in the championship round, and it just like he choked. I mean, he was 9 and Tiger was like 11 or 12, and then all of a sudden Tiger just put another birdie in, and he just started falling back. He fell back, I think, like 7 or 6 under or something like that. So
congratulations
to
Tiger Woods after all his problems come all the way back.
All righty, Kenny. Addison, that's going to do it for right here on WCSL here at the Classic 4 Studios for the best in sports, and we'll see you guys here next week. Have a great week, and remember, Calvin Hayes is up at the Cleveland County Fair.
Have a good one.
Have a good week.
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
In CN News, I'm Jeff Hamlin. The father of Maddox Rich, a missing 6-year-old Gastonia boy who has special needs, says he can't stand the thought